We're going to ask everyone, if you don't mind, to mute your phones as we get this show on the road. Okay. All righty, let me do a screen share. Got it. Let's put this up. Okay. So we're going to do our disclaimer. And we want you to know that we're not here to diagnose any medical problems. However, this site is for informational or educational purposes only and does not substitute professional medical advice or consultations with healthcare professionals. All right, so we want to first of all welcome everyone to the call. All right, see they're from all over. We're so grateful for another day. And thank you all for joining us on this call just before Thanksgiving. So we're grateful for each and every one that's on the call. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and do our company motto. And we're going to turn that over to Uncle Mike.
All right. Thank you very much, sales master there, Sharon Wilson. So good to see everybody today. I'm going to demonstrate how we're going to do the company motto. So I will say, company motto, are you ready? You'll raise your fist and say yes. I'll say go. We'll say create the spirit. Correction, cherish the spirit. Create the vision. Follow the faith. Serve in humility. Aja, aja, aja. Okay? All right. So everybody unmute. Everybody unmute. All right, here we go. Company motto. Are you ready?
Yes.
Go.
Cherish the spirit. Create the vision. Follow the faith. Serve humility.
Aja.
All right, y'all sound good. All right, back to you, sales master Sharon Wilson.
All right, thank you so much. We're going to ask that you mute your. So we won't get this. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Well, listen, guys, we're super excited. This young lady that we're getting ready to share her testimony, I really wanted you all to hear her and to hear how these products has really helped in her family. But before we do, we're going to get a couple of quick testimonies, just real quick. I'm going to open it up if someone want to share something real quick. If not, I'm going to call someone. So this is your opportunity to step up to the plate. All right. Okay, Miss Sherry. Go ahead and share real quick a testimony. I think that was Sherry that had her phone muted. Okay. All right.
I'll share a testimony.
Okay, go ahead.
My first testimony, when I first came into Atomy, I knew nothing about skincare, but I wanted something, and I had heard how good it was. We had so much, I didn't know what to choose. So I chose the Fame, the travel set. And I tell you something, I put that on the first day. I went all day, all night, went to bed, woke up the next morning, looked in the mirror. My skin looked so good, I didn't want to wash my face. I just could not believe how good those products were. And so I kept using it. I'm going to tell you. And so then when I became an auto sales master, they give you, a set. And so since I had the travel set, I just stopped using that and started using the big regular set. And I've used that for over a year and still have some left. And I think 2 or 3 of the bottles. But what I did is I upgraded to the absolute set now. And I tell you, these skincare products, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not used any of them, you need to put them on your face, because I'm going to tell you, it will make a difference. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Uncle Mike, for that testimony of the skincare products. Okay, David, I know you had a doctor's appointment. Give us an update, if you can, sir, real quick.
Okay, Sharon, I'm going to try to make this extremely brief. I went back to the doctor on the 17th at the clinic. And of course, the first thing they have to do is take my labs. So when the labs results came in, Well, before the lab results came in to the doctor came in to the room where I was, and he said, "Man, your creatinine looks great." And so he pulled up this chart that shows my creatinine from May up until the 17th. And the score was absolutely perfect. I have to get blood work done every 2 weeks. And so they had charted my results for the whole period. And my creatinine level had been running at 0.8 to 0.9 for the entire time. And he was so amazed with the results. He said that my creatinine numbers look way better than his. So Sharon, it's fantastic. And everything is just so exciting. One more side note. Remember when I had the transplant, the pharmacy people told me don't take any kind of herbs or anything like that. But, you know, that's just not in my nature. So we started out with the hemohim, taking one every other day. I graduated to one once a day. And all I can tell you is, if it had not been for the hemohim, I promise you, my results would not look like they look. And the other part, I would not feel as good as I feel. Thank you, Sharon.
All right, thank you so much. Now, for us that don't have medical degrees, creatinine, what is that?
I'm sorry. The creatinine is a calculation that the doctors measure the level of toxins that the body is pulling off. The normal creatinine level in a healthy kidney person should be between 0.7 and 1.3. And so you can see I'm right there at the low end of a perfect kidney.
Wow. Thank you, David.
I can quit praising the Lord. I just can't help it. Thank you.
That's amazing. Oh my God. And for those of y'all that didn't know, David has 2 new pediatric kidneys. So that's awesome. So thank you for sharing that. That is amazing. So now at this time, I want to introduce this young lady. She's, I had the opportunity to meet her in person. I've been seeing her name on my lineage, and I'm telling you, she is doing a great work in Baden, Illinois. But I think now she's in Texas with her mom. And so at this time, I'm going to turn it over to this young lady, and her name is Susie Douglas, and she is our presenter. So I want you all, this is her first time presenting with us, so I want you all to welcome her, put the hearts up, give her some love, Miss Susie Douglas. The floor is yours, ma'am.
All right, thank you guys, thank you. How's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Great, all right, awesome. Well, this is not my personal testimony. It is really about my 89-year-old mom. But at the time, she was 88. And she, on January the 22nd of this year, she went into the hospital. She stayed 4 days, came out, and then February the 14th, she went back in. They sent her home in January with a PICC line. And I have to tell you the story so that you'll see where she was and to see how the Lord used Atomy to restore her health. So she came home with the PICC line, but the PICC line got infected, and we didn't know that that PICC line would produce blood clots in her lungs. And so on February the 14th, she went into ICU. They also diagnosed her with COVID pneumonia, multifocal. They called it multifocal pneumonia. And while there, this was a time in our lives we were looking forward to having a great year, having come out of last year 2021, having lost a brother and her losing a son during the midst of COVID. And so we were just looking forward to just seeing what the Lord was going to do this year, not knowing that we were going to do battle. We were going to come into the year having to do battle. And so she spent 53 days in the hospital, 24 at one hospital, 29 at another hospital. And at the first hospital, when she was diagnosed with COVID pneumonia, the very second night, they called and said that she had had a stroke. And so honestly, they were, being that she was 88 years old, they didn't give us any hope, for real. They kept saying that, you know, what happens, you know, what would we want to do as far as the DR was concerned? And by her being 88 years old, you know, she's old, and some of our monies would be better spent on a 28-year-old instead of an 88, 90-year-old. But we trusted God. God told me in January, when the first illness came on, he said, she shall live and not die, and she will declare the works of the Lord, but this is self-induced. And so I called all the prayer warriors that I knew that would stand with us during this time, with me and my brother having to stand on God's word. And God continued to walk us through. There were many nights that we would go to bed thinking, God, you got to keep us. If the phone rang, and a couple of times at night, the phone would ring at midnight or after midnight. And, you know, just naturally, the enemy would want to say, the call is saying that she didn't make it, but we kept the hope, we kept the faith, we continued to confess God's word over this situation. And so it was probably day 15. And Sharon, would you show that 15-day picture of my mom in the ICU room? And while she's pulling that up, I'll continue to share. And so in that, they kept giving us this negative report. Now, mind you, my mother's 88, she's in the ICU room, and with the diagnosis of COVID pneumonia, you know, they won't let you see your loved one. And so here she's never been away from her family, and we were just very concerned. And so probably about on the 15th day, they allowed us to do a webcam with us. And when we saw our mom laying, oh my God.
It's okay, Susie.
When we saw her laying in that bed, I just said, oh my God, that is not my mom. That doesn't look like her. And we began to advocate for my moms, saying to them, you have got to let us see our mom. She's not used to being away from us. And so I mentioned to them about the compassion law. And you should have seen them starting to scramble at that point. And so they allowed me to go in and see my mom, and they gave me all of these conditions. But God, the favor of God gave me, I was able to stay longer than they anticipated. They had told me. I came one day and then came back the next day. But in that, when we left the first hospital on the 24th day, the doctor there told us that you might as well take her to a nursing home because she has sundowners and she's just not going to make it. And we'll give her 6 months. And so we didn't listen to them. So we went to the next hospital. They presented a ray of hope, we thought. And they never got her up at the first hospital, which meant that here, this 88-year-old woman, she leaves this hospital with a stage 2 decubitus ulcer or a bed sore. So we get to the next hospital thinking that, yes, this is going to be it. God's going to move. She's going to get up out of this bed. And For 29 days, it was pretty much the same old, same old. So we made a decision on April the 7th. We said that we're going to take out, basically they kicked us out of the hospital. We had to make a decision because the 21 days had passed for Medicare to kick in to get their money. And so I advocated for her because the first couple of days at the hospital, they gave her Atomy, which caused her to sleep for 7 days. She couldn't even open up her eyes. And so I just began to jump on the table, basically. And so they gave us some extra days. But we left there April the 7th. And we brought her home on hospice because, again, this second hospital told us the very same thing that the first hospital said. She's probably got 6 months. You might as well take her to the nursing home. No hope. So we bring her home, my brother and I, and we work with her, and through this whole process, again, the people globally, we had people praying in agreement with us. And I knew that my mom did not want to die. So being that we brought her home on hospice, we knew that hospice was a tool, but we knew that hospice was not the end all. And even in the midst of that, we were like, okay, God, what's the next step? Show us, give us wisdom. And God just began to show us that this was a Jehoshaphat moment, that he wanted us to stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, because this testimony would not only be a testimony for her, but it would be for her city and everybody that knew her and knows her. This would be a testimony of how God showed himself faithful in her life. So between April and July, we were using another protocol because, granted, at the hospital, they stripped her immune system. They had her on so many antibiotics. It was crazy. I mean, when I tell you it was crazy, it was crazy. I mean, she had a diagnosis of diabetes and blood pressure. And so even in the hospital, 1 minute they were giving her 10 units of insulin. The next minute they were giving her 4. Then it was 12, and it was up and down every day. And to the point we just said, don't do it. Don't give her anything else. We're taking her. We're just going to go home with her. So we came home, and my friend Linda 3 years ago actually told me about Atomy. She even mentioned it in January, again in February. And those of you that know Chairman Park, he says you have to tell people 6 times, at least 6 times before they hear it the first time. And so in May, I was at a barbershop, and my barber mentioned Atomy. And when he talked about hemoheme, I said, I remember seeing that or hearing that product. So I left there, Googled it, and I texted KJ and was asking her if she would be willing to meet me. And I had made it up in my mind at that particular time. I said, hey, I'm going to try it first. And then if it works on me, I'm going to use it on my mother. And at that time, she was still 88. So moving forward, met with KJ, got the hemoheme, tried it, loved it, because it immediately gave me energy. For me, I'm not on any medication. So during this time, it was critical with sustained energy, and hemoheme did that. It delivered that and more. So in July, we started with, at that time, my mother was 89. And she is 89 now. But we started with, we did the Alaska E-omega 3, E3. We did a spirulina. We are on calcium, plant calcium, vitamin B complex, the women probiotic, the colorful food vitamin C. That's for you, Uncle Mike. In the probiotic, and then we are using the iron. And I will tell you, we started in July, and I left going home, back home in October. And I called my mom the first weekend of October and I said, hey, Mom, I'm just checking on you. How you doing? And she said, girl, I'm cute. I said, what? You cute? What you mean you cute? She said, I just got my hair cut and I'm looking like heaven. I said, wait a minute. Wait. You look like heaven? I said, now you're going to have to send me some pictures because I need to know what heaven looked like. So my brother sent me pictures of what heaven looked like. So Sherry, can you show that first picture?
Susie, I did not receive the pictures, so can you send them real quick and we will do, I got one picture from you, but that was it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay, that's okay. So while you're doing that, while you're getting those pictures together, we're gonna grab a testimony from Miss Viley. Can you share a quick testimony, me lovey? Miss Viley?
Okay, I'll share. My testimony would be that I love the Atomy products, and that if you ask me why Atomy, it's because they have quality products, quality price. And also I've got quite a few testimonials, but my testimony is it really helped my circulation because I was being bothered with cold feet. And so it really helped there. And then also I'm using the facial products, and I love the facial products because they actually nourish the skin and make your skin look healthy. And when they say the absolute is what they say, cell activated, it's really true. It's cell activated, so it slows down the aging process on the skin. So all I can say is that Atomy is a first-class company with first-class products, and I wish everybody would just try them. So back to you.
All right, thank you, Miss Viley. And it was good to meet you in Atlanta. Miss Linda Bell, you shared the Atomy with Susie, what, 3 years ago? And here it is 3 years later, and look what's going on. So share your testimony real quick, Miss Linda Bell. I think that's Linda Bell. Okay. All right, well, we're going to move right along. Mr. Keith, can you share a quick testimony?
Unmute.
Oh, wow. Wow, look at these pictures.
There we go. Okay, yeah. Him on him and is the number one thing. You know, I've tried 3 or 4 different things, but him on him is number one. And like I say, I went to the doctor for my high blood and my checking my sugar and stuff. And and I had been out of the medicine for about 3 or 4 weeks. And she said, and she checked my blood pressure, says normal. She said, what you been doing? I said, I've been taking some products, taking this him and some color food, vitamin C and stuff. She said, well, keep on doing what you're doing. She said, you don't have to take no medicine no more, you know. So that was crazy. So I went ahead and gave her some and gave the nurses some and some vitamin C, and I supposed to check back with them. So yeah,
awesome.
That's fine.
Thank you, Mr. Keith. Uncle Mike, give us a little quick presentation while I upload these photos. This is amazing what I'm looking at here. So go ahead and take it away, Uncle Mike.
All right, we'll do a quick presentation.
Yes.
We'll do it on we'll do something quick on the color food vitamin C. Now, as you've heard, everyone, it made so much emphasis on calling it by its proper name. Why? Because it builds value. Okay, you can get color food from the gas station. All right, but if you want Atomy color food vitamin C, then you got to get it here. So vitamin C at the gas station, color food vitamin C from Atomy. One thing about vitamin C is that vitamin C actually goes to every single cell in your body. So can you imagine giving your every cell in your body some good quality color food, vitamin C? And with all of those good things that's in it, you just cannot pass it up. Look at this. You got pomegranate extract. You have tangerine concentrate, pumpkin extract, chicory root extract, turmeric extract, Messina powder. You have all these great things in this product. 500 milligrams, 90 come in the box, and it's only $21. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. This right here costing you $7 a month. This is one of the best buys. Atomy, absolute quality, absolute price, giving you the very best quality at the absolute lowest price. So I encourage people, especially if you have children in daycare, you got children in school, kindergarten, it doesn't matter, all the way up 12th grade college. I don't care if you're going to night school, if you're an adult, you need to be on this, because you need, in the midst of this pandemic, you need to be making sure that your immune system is at the tippity tip top shape that it can be in. You need more time, Sharon? Okay. Let's look at another product. You know, Uncle Mike got a few of them out there.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Let's talk about Atomy's 100% pure spirulina. It's been said that if there's only one food you could eat on the planet Earth, it would be spirulina. So let's take a look at this. First of all, we have spirulina, $23, 10,000 PV. 120 capsules come in the bottle. You take 2 a day, it's going to last you 2 months. Now, question, what is spirulina? Spirulina is the longest surviving micro blue-green freshwater algae that grows and thrives in tropical alkaline water. And those beautiful waters happen to be in beautiful Hawaii. Now, look at this right here. The UN, United Nations, introduced spirulina as a food to distribute to malnourished communities. Okay, many of you may remember back in the news when the United Nations going to or different parts of the world, people that were starving, they was giving this because, see, when you're in a malnourished state, your body is out of balance. Okay, so you need all of these nutrients that's in spirulina to bring the body back into balance. Okay, NASA has also successfully used it in their astronauts. But these 5 green boxes here is the reason why you want to be on this product. Watch this. 18 types of amino acids, 15 types of fatty acids, 13 types of minerals, 12 types of vitamins, 5 types of antioxidants. Do you see, ladies and gentlemen, why it is so important that you have this? Because, see, you couldn't eat right if you wanted to. Okay, most of the foods that we eat, some of them don't have no nutritional value. Only thing it's doing is making you feel like it's like a fake full. You know, it ain't a real full. You know, like you really ate something that has some nutrients in it so that your body can get the nutrition into action. Okay. All right, we're going to turn it back over to Sales Master Sharon Wilson.
All right. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Thank you for that station identification, Uncle Mike. So guys, let me turn it back over to Miss Susie for part 2. And we do have her photos. So I'm going to go ahead and get them uploaded here. Okay.
So that picture right there is like the 15 days in ICU. And so that was our first visual of what she looked like at that time. Okay. And just like Chairman Park said, you got to create the faith or follow the faith, I say. And we were following what we believed in. We heavily would quote those scriptures. We had scriptures on the wall. The doctors would come in and they say, they be looking around and they didn't know what to say. And I said, yeah, we're in the hospital, but we don't want it to feel like a hospital.
Mm.
And so, so Sharon, do you have, can you put up the pictures of her looking like heaven?
Okay, sure can.
So that's her looking like heaven. That's the first picture. And then the second picture. And I said, oh my God. I'm like, look at mama. I said, I'm 62 and I've never seen her with all those rings on her finger. She 89 and she's looking like heaven. And what I want to tell you guys is she started these products in July. And this was the first weekend in October. This was the first Sunday in October. So basically, this was 3 months consistently giving her the Atomy products. And so that particular picture, she said, I don't hurt. She said, I feel good. And so the only thing is we've been working with the physical therapist to help her with her mobility. And so the physical therapist was here today and mom took 100 and how many steps did you do today?
I think she said 40.
140 steps. So it was great. She is on the fast track. And so I wanted one other testimony. And then I wanted my mom, who's 89, to say something to greet you guys. But so that you can see see what's at what the real what do I want to say? You can see her up close and in person to see how Atomy has restored her body. But also in the course of working through all the other health issues that was going on in her body, she developed a bed sore or a decubitus ulcer on her left heel. And we had been using some stuff on it, and KJ said, hey, use Hemoheme and toothpaste. And so my brother put it on, and she had told him to put it on and wash it off or whatever. He was like, no, I'm leaving it on overnight. He put the toothpaste and the Hemoheme on that heel, and it stayed there as he continued to put it on for 3 days. And on the 4th day, and Sharon, if you would show what it looked like. So that's what it looked like that before we applied the Hemoheme and the toothpaste. And then on the 4th day, if you'll show that picture.
I didn't get that one, hon. I'm so sorry.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what I'll do, I'm going to forward it to you again.
Okay.
And then I want my my mom, if that's okay, if she can say something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, I just sent it.
Okay.
So here's my 89-year-old mama. You want to say something to them?
Hello.
All right there.
Hey.
Hello, gorgeous.
Ready for fun? I'm ready for fun with the good Lord.
All right.
I'll tell you, he's a wonderful God to know. And he's a God will not leave you if you trust him. And I did do that. And I told people they could pray for me, and I asked them to pray. But the main thing, you do it yourself. All day and all night. I just kept praying, thanking him for the goodness and the grace and where he had brought me from, because they were not looking for me to make it home. All my friends came to see me when I was over in Plano. They just moved me around. But nobody thought I was going to make it. But I knew within myself that God was going to bring me through this. And I have not missed a day of praying. And I'll tell you something else. Eating was not on my mind. The main thing was on my mind was God keeping me holding on to God's hand, and he bringing me through. and I didn't even want no food. I just wanted the vitamins that I was on, and that's all I take, just vitamins. He's a mighty good God if you read it.
So is
And
it the
trust
Atomy vitamins that you're on?
Yes, it's Adam. Yes, honey. I tell you, and I say you can trust, ask people to pray for you. But the main thing was that was with me. I asked people to pray. But the main thing was with me is to pray yourself. Believe in God and trust him. And I tell you, he will bring you through it. And I pray all day long and all night long. I never ceased it from praying. And he's been so good. He's been so good.
So it's because of the Atomy products, right?
Because of the Atomy product. Oh, Lord, he's so good.
Wow.
I don't know nothing else to believe but him. And he had brought me from a mighty, mighty long way. If y'all could have seen me, y'all would have said no, I wouldn't make it.
Absolutely.
Because everybody else said they never thought I would come this far. But I got a testimony. People come by here and see me and said, oh, Miss Deborah, Cousin Deborah. I mean, they come in droves and said, give me some of whatever you taking. I want some of it too.
Awesome. Thank you, Mom. Even her skin, her hairdresser came by the other day and she just kept looking at her skin, but she didn't want to ask anything. And then finally she said, what are you doing as it relates to your skin? Wow. And as a result, she has ordered some of the products. So in closing, I just want to say that in 2 days, we will be celebrating Thanksgiving. And here in this house, we have so much to be thankful for. Amen. Psalms 107:1 says, oh, give thanks, for he is good.
Yes.
And God has truly been good to this household. And so as the old people say, we're going to run on and see what the end is going to be. We know it's going to be great. So thank you, guys. Sharon, thank you so much for allowing me to share my mom's testimony. And that is that heel. That's what it looked like in 4 days. And I just checked her heel today and it's totally normal.
Wow.
So those Atomy products, they're great.
Thank you, Miss Susie. That was amazing, 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 amazing. I tell you what, your mother looks so good. She looks so good. We're just so grateful for these products. So I guess what we'll do is open it up. And I know we have Dr. Dotson and we'd love to hear from her, maybe a comment or two. But if y'all have any questions, yeah, let me turn it over to Dr. Dotson because she's making some really good. Dr. Dotson, are you able to? Because she may have some patience.
I'm sorry, I hadn't unmuted myself. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. So what do you think about that testimony?
It was likely the antibacterial and anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties that's in the propolis toothpaste that made a difference in the wound healing. So I just wanted, because I'm sure people are thinking, how does toothpaste, heal a wound? I just wanted to explain what the mechanism of action was and why it would. It's because of the propolis extract from beehives.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, well, thank you for that, Dr. Dotson. Someone had a question. Just go ahead and unmute or raise your hand or a comment.
While they're waiting to do that, I just wanted to say some things. First of all, Susie, thank you so much. Great testimony, and thank you so much for sharing your mother with us. And what I want you all to understand is that God designed the body, that if you give it the proper nutrients, the body can heal itself. Okay, so that's why we see so many people having these testimonies. And then another reason why is because a lot of people, and I can probably say most people, have not had good quality nutrients in their body. And so when you give the body what it wants, then that's what it can do something. You know, that's why when you cook and you use real butter, okay, the body knows what to do with it. Okay, when you use like something like margarine, which is this close from being illegal, okay, the body's saying, what am I supposed to do with this? Okay, I just put it back over here on these hips and I'll deal with it later. Okay, so that's how the body works. Back to you, Sharon.
Thank you for making that really clear and plain. Thank you so much. Any questions, I think?
Sharon.
Yes, Dorothy, go ahead.
I just want to say, yesterday I went in for my colonoscopy, and when they got ready to do my checkup, where they check your blood, your pressure, and everything was good. They had told me to take a half of a blood pressure pill before I got there, but I have not been taking them at all this month, and so everything was good, and everything worked out just fine. So I just wanted you all to know that I just believe that the products that I'm using is really helping me.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Dorothy. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right, anyone else? Let's see. Julie, you're unmuted. Go ahead, Julie. Okay. All righty. Anyone else? Well, listen, we're just grateful once again for that testimony. Just to hear your mother talking and sharing, and just so much energy. So this is what heaven is going to look like for us when we get to be 80 and 90 years old. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. Any more comments? And we have some leaders on the call. Y'all feel free to chime in.
Hey, Sharon.
Uh-huh.
You mentioned about her talking. The 53 days that she was in the hospital, she never talked. And the reason why we called 911 on February the 14th was because of her throat was hurting. And they never looked at her throat, not one time, while she was in the hospital. And she never spoke until she got home on like maybe April the 9th. The hospice nurse came in and she said, "Do you know who you are?" And my mom, for the first time, said, "Mabel Devereaux." And God, because of the stroke, God restored her memory fully. Restored it through I believe through his power, but also through the products. And her memory is totally restored. So much so that I say, now why she got to remember all of that? Way back when, but yeah, he has restored it.
That is so powerful. Oh my gosh. Y'all, this is a lot to see and to hear. That's why we tell you all to share your testimonies.
Exactly.
You know, if you're using products and they've helped you, tell somebody, you know, and you don't know someone on this call, and we're grateful for all of our guests. Thank you for showing up. But you don't know who needs to hear your testimony. You know, so this is what this call is about. We want people to know these products, to start using them, and, you know, just get involved with these great products. We have powerful testimonies on here, so we're grateful. Anything else? And we're not going to hold you because we know that y'all are getting ready for the holidays, but we're just excited. Miss Patricia Hornsby, yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Please send everybody a copy of that testimony right there, because it is going to change a lot of people, because it's changing people already. I know this for myself. So I thank you so much for giving your testimony and about your mom. That is so marvelous. And God is doing what he does and can't nobody stop him. Thank you.
Thank you. Woo. Yes, 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 yes.
Sharon, I would just like to add that I wish I had known about the product when my sister was alive, because her heel looked just like her mother's heel. And it was all I could do to watch that, because I'm thinking, oh my goodness, you know, but I didn't have it.
Mhm.
And that was that. But I have some friends that since I've been taking it, now they're interested in finding out what I'm taking. So I've got to get with you to get some product for them.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, Miss Kim, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I was just asking about the testimony, and how can we get a copy of that, Ms. Sharon?
How can you get a copy of this?
Testimony.
When Mon, he'll pass it out to us and we'll get it out to you all. So who's your upline, Kim?
Miss Sophie in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay.
Sophie Kwan or Colette Lay.
Okay. I don't know if Mon may know them. Kim.
Wait, let's see. How about Miss Susan? Miss Sue. Miss Sue is from Charlotte.
Okay.
Yeah, Yusuk Sung, Royal Master.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's where Mon and Ari is. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe give him your phone number in the chat, just to him, and he'll get it to you. Okay.
I would love to show that to some people.
Absolutely.
Share that to some people with if I may.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sharon,
Mm-hmm.
if you go on YouTube, if you know anyone that had a stroke, tell them to go on YouTube and put in hemohim and stroke. And you can do that for so many different things. Hemohim and COVID, hemohim and cancer, hemohim, diabetes, and the list goes on. Because this magnificent product, it helps the body in so many different ways. Okay, so everyone needs to do that. A lot of times people ask me something, I go on YouTube and put in hemohim and whatever it is that you may be dealing with. Okay, just so that you can hear. When you go on there, what you're going to actually hear is going to be people that went through that and they're giving their testimony. It's not the company saying it, it's not us saying it. It's that particular person that is sharing with you. Okay, and so you can do that with all of Atomy products. There are so many Atomy videos on YouTube, it's not funny. Just about every single product we have, just put it on there.
Mm-hmm.
Back to you, Sharon.
And Sharon, I would like to add that we really didn't use the hemohim. I'm just now using the hemohim with her in reference to the energy for the physical therapy. My brother used it sparingly, but what got her, what the restoration of her health came from the products that I named. And then the organic food that we were using. And then the organic, it was kind of like a Ensure, but it was organic. So she came home with a feeding tube. And I told her that God used this tube to save your life because you've eaten better than you've ever eaten in your life. You've drank more water than you've ever drank in your life. So really, God used Atomy products and then the foods to rebuild her body. And just like Uncle Mike said, that if we give the body what the body needs, the body will heal itself. And we are witness to that today.
Awesome.
Well, you said, yeah, you said that. Yeah. So she wanted me to tell y'all she's a prayer warrior.
We know that.
Yeah, right. But I'm just saying the quality of the products. So even if you don't have hemohim and using the other products, the quality is what I'm wanting to focus on.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if there's nothing else, we're not going to hold you all tonight. I'm just really want to say thank you for being on the call, and thank you once again, Susie. And I want you all to just thank Susie for her testimony tonight about her mom, and just give her some kudos. We're grateful for, once again, Dr. Dodson being on the line with us tonight. She is our doctor, okay? She is our doctor. We're really excited to have her. But everybody, let's give some hearts and some hand claps to Miss Susie, and thank you for taking the time out to sharing your mom's testimony. And I know y'all are going to have a great Thanksgiving. All right? All right. So that being said, we're going to let you go. And all right, Chris, you could put that up. Chris said, okay. All right. So Chris, I'm going to let you close us out.
Okay, everybody, we've had a great time tonight. Testimony was inspiring, to say the least. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Company motto, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes. Go.
Share the spirit, take the vision, follow the faith, overcome humanity.
All right. Thank you.
Have a
Good night, everyone.
God bless you.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson, could I ask Mr. Wilson, could I get his number? David.
Oh, most definitely.
All right.